In this video, we are going to study about evaporation. What is evaporation? Evaporation is a process by which a liquid changes into gas. It is a change of state of matter from liquid to gas. So it can happen at any temperature. Evaporation can happen at any temperature below its boiling point. No need of reaching boiling point. If it reaches boiling point, the process will be another process that we call boiling. So evaporation is different from boiling. In boiling point should be reached, but in case of evaporation, no need of attaining boiling point. Evaporation can be happen at any temperature below its boiling point. I'll tell you some examples. If during rainy season, water will be collected here and there, and when the sunlight comes, after some time, we will not be able to see that water collected. Where all that water goes? Yes, it get evaporated. If you are keeping your clothes, wet clothes for drying outside your home, what happens after some times? It will dry up. So the water will be escaped into the atmosphere as water vapor. That process is known as evaporation. In the both cases, we are not boiling the water. We are not boiling the clothes. We are not boiling the water to get evaporated. It is a slow process, but it takes place at any temperature below its boiling point. So evaporation is a change. It's a change of state of matter from liquid to gas at any temperature below its boiling point. Okay, how it happens? Let's learn how it happens. The surface molecules, if you are keeping the water in a vessel, the surface molecules will be moving with different kinds of kinetic energy. All the molecules will be moving with different kinds of kinetic energy. We are talking about the surface molecules, the particles which are present at the surface. So the surface molecules, those who are having high kinetic energy, will be moving with high speed. And those fast moving molecules will attain such a situation that they will break the bond between them. The intermolecular force of attraction will be lost. Intermolecular force of attraction between different molecules will be lost, and they will be free to escape into another state, the next level, that is gaseous state. So this happens during evaporation. The kinetic energy of the molecules increases and they will be moving apart. They break the bond between them and they will escape into the gaseous state. So this happens due to the breakage of intermolecular force of attraction between the molecules, and it's a slow process also. Apart from boiling, it is not a bulk process. Boiling is a bulk process. In boiling, all the molecules are involving. All are attaining a particular temperature and they are escaping into gaseous state after attaining the boiling point. But in this case, only surface molecules will be taking part. The participants are only surface molecules, not the bulk, not the whole molecules. Okay. Next, we are going to study about factors affecting evaporation. What are the factors which affect the rate of evaporation? One activity is given in your textbook, that is, you can take one test tube full of water and keep it near your window. Instead of test tube, you can take glass also, a narrow tube also, and another china dish. If you don't have china dish, you will not be having china dish, you can take a plate or something which is having a wider area, and you can keep it near your window. And same, the size of plate can be taken, fill it with water and keep it inside your shelf. So 3 areas we can select, that is one a narrow tube or a glass or a test tube full of water near your window, and there you can keep another vessel containing a wider vessel containing water and keep it near the window, and another can, a vessel containing water, inside your shelf. And note down the time taken for complete evaporation. How long it takes to completely evaporate. So you can see that in a wider plate, surface area will be larger. In a narrow tube, the surface area will be smaller. That is, only a few particles will be able to participate in evaporation in a narrow tube or glass. But in case of wider plate or wider area vessel, a lot of molecules are able to participate in the process of evaporation. And in the case of shelf, there is low temperature. Inside, if you are keeping it that inside the shelf, it will not get that much temperature. So temperature is also another factor. It is not getting wind. If you are keeping it outside your home or near the window, you will get enough temperature and wind also. So all these factors are very, very important for considering the rate of evaporation. So from this experiment, we can derive that the rate of evaporation is directly proportional to the surface area of the vessel or surface area of the water liquid. If surface area increases, rate of evaporation also increases. If surface area decreases, the rate of evaporation also decreases. Another thing is temperature. If temperature increases, if you are keeping the vessel in outside or high temperature area, then the rate of evaporation also increases. If you are keeping your wet clothes outside for drying, if it is a sunny day, it will be dry up easily. If it is a rainy day or cold day, it will take more and more time for it to dry up. That is the reason. If you are keeping your wet clothes inside your home, it takes a lot of time to get it dry up. So temperature increases, rate of evaporation also increases. Next one is humidity. Humidity means the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. How much water vapor, the water molecules, water vapor is present in the atmosphere, that is humidity. Humidity means the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere. How much water is present in the atmosphere. So usually all day a particular amount of water vapor will be in the atmosphere. If it is a sunny day, the amount will be less. If it is a rainy day, lot of water vapor will be already in the air. So if you are keeping your wet clothes in a rainy day outside, it takes a longer time to get dry up. If you are keeping your wet clothes outside in a sunny day, it will get dry up soon. So that is the difference. So humidity also plays a role in determining the rate of evaporation. If humidity is less, evaporation will be faster. If humidity is more water molecules are there, evaporation will be slower. Already atmosphere has enough water molecules, it will not absorb water from your clothes or whatever you are keeping it. Understood? So rate of evaporation is inversely proportional to humidity. It is a negative proportion, opposite proportion, inverse proportion. Rate of evaporation increases with lowering of humidity. Low humidity, high evaporation. High humidity, low evaporation. Next one is wind speed. No need of describing, you know that wind speed increases, rate of evaporation also increases. Wind speed decreases means rate of evaporation also decreases. That is a positive correlation. Direct proportion. Rate of evaporation increases with increase in wind speed. That is, when wind speed increases, rate of evaporation also increases. So these four factors are very, very important. One is surface area. Surface area increases, rate of evaporation increases. Second one, temperature. Temperature increases, rate of evaporation also increases. Third one, wind speed. As wind speed increases, the rate of evaporation also increases. So these three are positive correlation, and one is negative correlation, that is humidity. If humidity increases, rate of evaporation decreases. So rate of evaporation decreases with increase in humidity. That is a negative correlation. Other three ones are positive correlation, direct in a proportion. Okay. Next one. How does evaporation cause cooling? This is very, very important. How does evaporation cause cooling? We know that for evaporation to occur, it absorbs energy from the atmosphere. As it absorbs energy from the atmosphere, the temperature of the atmosphere lowers. So if the temperature lowers, means that makes cooling. So that is the reason why evaporation causes cooling. Evaporation causes cooling. How? Evaporation needs energy in order to evaporate. If the liquids want to evaporate, it wants to take energy. By receiving energy in the form of heat, only it will able to evaporate into the gaseous form. In order to get evaporated, it will absorb energy from the surroundings. As it absorbs energy from the surroundings will become cool by lowering its energy. Okay. Next one. What happens when you pour acetone or nail polish remover? All of you might have experienced this. When you put nail polish remover on your nail, you feel very cool. How? The nail polish remover, it's easily evaporating. It's a volatile substance. It's easily get evaporated. So in order to get evaporated, it will absorb energy from your nail. That is, the surrounding is your nail. So it will absorb energy from your nail. That is, your nail feel cool. By lowering the temperature, the nail will feel cool. So these are some examples. After a hot sunny day, we will be sprinkling water on the roof, or we will be pouring water on the roof. When you pour water on the roof or the ground, the water will absorb heat energy from the ground or the roof, and the ground or the roof will feel cool. So evaporation, wherever evaporation happens, it causes cooling. Because, so in any way, if the question comes, you will be able to answer. Cooling causes evaporation. How? Evaporation causes cooling. How does it happen? For evaporation, energy is needed. This energy will be absorbed by the surroundings. When energy is absorbed by the surroundings will lose energy. The system is taking energy from the surroundings. At that time, the surrounding will feel cool by losing its energy or lowering its energy. Next one, why should we wear cotton clothes in summer? Because summer, the rate of evaporation of the liquid, sweating, we sweat a lot. So during the sweating, it absorbs energy from the surroundings. Sweating will, during sweating, what happens? So many water molecules will be coming out from our body, and that will be escaping into the atmosphere as gas. So in order for this escaping, for this evaporation, it needs energy. So it will be taking energy from our body, and that energy loss causes cooling to our body. If you are wearing cotton clothes, that will absorb the sweat. That will absorb the sweat from our body, and it will be showing to the atmosphere. These water molecules will be exposed to the atmosphere for evaporation. Easily it get evaporated. If you are wearing a polyester cloth or synthetic cloth, it does not happen, because synthetic cloth will not be able to absorb water. So cotton clothes are preferred during summer season, because sweat will be absorbed nicely and the sweat will be exposed to the atmosphere for evaporation. So our body will feel cool. Next, last part, why do we see water droplets on the outer surface of the glass containing ice cold water? If you are keeping ice cold water or ice cubes in a tumbler or glass, you can see that after few seconds, so many droplets of water molecules on the surface, outside surface. How does it happen? See, if you are taking water, ice cold water or ice cubes inside a glass, inside the glass it is having low temperature, and outside the glass it is having high temperature. Comparison. Okay. So this molecules having high temperature will be coming and touching on the glass. So at that time condensation happens. Condensation causes this formation of this water molecules. So inside the glass low temperature, and outside the glass high temperature. So the molecules having more temperature or higher temperature will be coming and touching the water, the glass or tumbler, whatever we have taken, and they, due to the cooling, they will condense. And due to this condensation, or because of this condensation process, water molecules will be formed on the surface of the glass. Okay, this is the end of this chapter. Hope you understood this video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If any question or query is there, you can comment us in the comment space. Okay. Thank you.